Okay, hopefully none of the other carpenters out there roast me too bad on this, but I'm going to make a video here to kind of dispel the myth of the YouTube carpenter out there. I've just thought this was so funny. Every time I go and watch a video, there are some guys out there who do amazing work, and a lot of them, they admit, yeah, I get a lot of tools sent to me for free, and I've got sponsorships with these products. That's fine. I get it. And look, if your shop looks spick and span and spotless, that's awesome. I mean, I couldn't personally deal with a shop like that, but I started carpentry back in the late 90s. So I've been in the business for a while. I've been making things. I've done woodwork. I've done cabinets. I've done kitchens, bathrooms, remodel, you name it. And I want to show you what a real carpenter's shop looks like when you can't afford a shop. Because I don't want people to be dissuaded from doing woodwork. I made a video and it ended up being way too long about this topic. I haven't uploaded it, but I want you to see this. Just how nasty this really looks right now. But when I open my garage door, I can pull out my chop saw, table saw, all these different things, right? And I want to run through something, and I want to do this kind of humorously, right? Don't take this too seriously, okay? So this is the reality of, a couple decades of carpentry. First off, you have the whole wall rack full of stuff, okay? You've got some nail guns. You've got some sanders that you might use. Even though you have better sanders, you still keep those old ones because you really think you might need them. A box of concrete stuff that you don't use very often, but you might actually once in a while use. Your framing nailer, which you don't really use at all because the trigger's broken and you never replaced it. And then a whole bunch of various woodworking projects. The guitar you made with your son like 20 years ago for his school project. A little thing with drawers that you never finished. And then a whole stack of random things, empty boxes. I could use that box. I could use that box. I could use that box. A framing skill saw you don't really use. Some old battery tools that used to work good because they're Makita, but that was the old, nickel cadmium batteries, and they're all dead, and the aftermarket ones cost a fortune, so you just leave it hoping that one day something will magically make it start all working again. And then, of course, the biscuit joiner up there, which every carpenter knows the biscuit joiner is like one of the biggest jokes in the shop. It's something you spend a couple $100 on and then end up never using. Then you've got, of course, the entire rack of random things, short wood pieces, cutting boards you never finished, swords you made with your kids, paint sprayer that you'll never use, and buckets and buckets of random things. You've got your portable table saw, you've got your plumbing and bathroom and stuff and all that crap, and then you've got an entire random box on the floor full of all your mobile carpentry tools. And that's only if you're a remodel carpenter like I am. If you do everything in your shop at home, it's a different story. Look, a lot of guys, that's another big point. You guys can set up your whole shop without having to move anything, but if you do carpentry for a living, it totally changes the paradigm. So you've got your chop saw that you may or may not want or use. Your kind of bucket full of power tools and various saws. And then, of course, your table saw, which, every carpenter knows the table saw is not just a saw. It's a table, okay? It's a table. And that table can be full of anything. You name it. You've got nail guns, you got glue. Oh, and of course the random bucket of screws and bolts and hardware and, cabinet magnets from a job you did 15 years ago that you'll never use. But hey, dude, somebody might need this. And, whatever you stick all your random things in, your Sawzall blades and your jigs and that kind of crap. And no carpenter's complete without a pair of sawhorses that has been left out in the rain a lot. And you'd have to replace the top with a bunch of crappy wood, but it works. And then you've got your, bag of sanders, your cords, your vacuum, your wood lathe. Oh yes, the wood lathe that you'll go out and buy some dowels and you'll make like one cool table leg and think, oh wow, it's hard to make three more. I don't have the right chisels for that. So you just let the lathes kind of sit around. And the bandsaw is awesome when you're making things that you don't make. I mean, of course, back here I've got something I made like 20 years ago with the bandsaw, but really it sits along with the also this awesome veneer that I haven't used either, and extra pieces of a cutting board, half done projects, and of course the chessboard that wasn't finished. And then over here you've got the fan to blow all your sawdust out. It's just some cheesy little grow room fan from back when you grew weed. Your sander, of course, and a mask if you choose to wear it. Maybe, maybe not. For some reason, a random drill for tapping maple trees. Another cutting board you never finished. A bench you're working on. A guitar neck, a guitar body. You get the picture, right? Oh, can't forget the router table that you may or may not need to do details like once in a long blue moon. And it's never complete without an air compressor on the floor. And then, you're stepping all over it, because that's what carpentry is. And if I didn't make it very clear at the through all of this, you've got a random bag over there with another router and a bunch of other shit, and then a bag, and this bag has every stupid little piece of tooling known to mankind, every size of chisel, different sizes of pry bars and nippers and pliers and blades and knives and squares. And by the time you're done collecting all this random crap, you also can spend thousands of dollars on stuff that you probably won't ever need. I hope I covered it all. To make the point, just know what you need and buy the things that you're going to use. I have, over the years, accumulated more tools I could shake a stick at. I haven't even begun to cover, the planers, the jointer I got rid of, all the other crap that you won't need. This right here, this simple little tool, of course now it's stuck in here. This simple little tool, doesn't have to be a DeWalt, but this is the one I use. It's a 4.5-inch blade. It'll cut plywood. It'll cut 2x4s, and even curves. Big curves because of the curve. The small blade. But this is the simplest tool. It'll replace, if you know what you're doing, it'll often replace a table saw. I went to a job site with this a while back, and I had to cut a mantle out of a piece of oak. And actually, it's right over here. This is the piece of oak that I cut the mantle out of. And I need to make it clear. This, I believe, the mantle was like 2.5 inches thick, and I had to cut this. It went this way, so I had to cut this whole section off. And it was a cutoff from my giant mantle. And I did it all with that little tiny saw there. And I did it because I measured properly and put a straight edge on it. And I guess what I'm getting at is that saw was like $100, $125. That'll do the job of most things you need from a skill saw, chop saw, and a table saw. That doesn't mean that those things aren't amazing to have for cutting all kinds of things. But look, I've slapped up 4x8 sheets of plywood on a table saw before. I know how nice they cut. But is it necessary? And that's up to you. But to each carpenter his own. I'm starting a new job on Monday, so I'll be bringing all my, random tools to the job site and saying, I can make it happen. What matters is the end result. That is the key. It's not about what tool you use. It doesn't matter what color it is. You can have a bunch of fancy red squares hanging on your wall, but it doesn't mean that, you're doing satisfying work. You just either do it or you don't. And definitely having a lot of money to spend on tools helps, but sometimes you just got to throw stuff up on a big rack and hope that you use it one day. Peace and night.